Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Bring it. Come on. Yeah. Late night, here we go. Now let me welcome everybody to the late night show. Hit the like button and sub if you know. We gon' touch on everything, time to let it flow. Late night with Danny, Yesi, chop it up, we gon' bless.
What's up, guys? How you guys doing tonight, man? It's another late night with Danny, Yesi.
Yes, and this is Yesi here.
How you guys doing tonight, man? Hopefully everybody's doing good.
You guys ready for another late night Halloween edition?
Let's do it, guys. It's time to tell some scary stories, man. Welcome to Story Time. And this is the second episode. First one was the other night when we talked about some movies based on reality. So tonight we're gonna, we scoured the internet a little bit for some actual scary stories, and we want to
real life experiences, right?
Yeah, real life experience. Well, at least we believe they are. So
I mean, it's people telling their stories,
right?
What had happened to them. So
well,
I know a lot of people might be, oh, it's not real.
But, some people, they lie a lot online. So I will leave it up to you guys to decipher what's real and what's not.
Mm-hmm.
So again, hopefully everybody's having a good night, man. It is October. What's up, Dante? We see you guys. Mixtape, what's up, bro?
Welcome, guys.
Good to see each and every single one of you guys here. Right, hopefully you guys are settled in, because I'm gonna kick it off with the first Reddit story, and this one's called "Apparently the Real Horror Show Was Underneath the Horror Show." Okay.
Ooh, the horror show. The horror show.
So here we go. So check this out. It says here, I'm a seasonal scare actor at a large amusement park. My scare zone is close to the main entrance, so I get to be one of the first and last interactions with the guest. I'm only 16, and this was my first job, so getting to scare people as my first real job was a thrill all on its own. Says over several shifts, I started to notice another actor making their way around the entire loop of the park in just minutes. It says there were two problems with this. I had never seen the actor in line for makeup, and I'm pretty sure I'd recall a dwarf in bloodied clown getup. That and the fact that the loop of the park would take at least half an hour to even get around full sprint. It says I figured the person wasn't a guest, since guests weren't allowed to enter the park in any sort of costume for obvious reasons. I never saw a small clown attempt to scare any guest, but rather simply walk amongst the crowd. Says here, I didn't think much of it, since sight of a tiny bloody clown was plenty effective on its own. Says in time, I realized the adult guests weren't reacting to the clown at all. However, the children would scatter instantaneously at the sight of him again. I didn't think much of it, since the parents attending were typically shit-faced drunk or overpriced beer. Says the actors weren't allowed to converse with each other during our shifts. So at the end of my shift, one night I started asking around about the clown. All I got was a bunch of, I don't know, and shoulder shrugs. Even the area managers I spoke to had no answers for me. I'm not sure if it was some sort of an inside joke, but not getting a single clear answer from anyone was really unsettling. The last week of the spook season, I had arrived to work only to find mostly empty parking lot and all of the park entrances blocked off with police cruisers and SUVs. Before I could even make it out of the car, my area manager was already at my window wearing a bewildered expression. It says, I would shoot off the property with no explanation. The next day, the local news channel announced the answers I wish I never saw. A badly beating child was recovered from under the tracks of one of the roller coasters. Upon investigating how the child managed to get inside of the fenced-off area, an extremely sophisticated underground tunnel system had been discovered running the length of the entire park. Inside the passage held an undisclosed number of miscellaneous limbs, hazardly pinned to every square inch of the interior of the rail spikes. Some remains were reported to be pieces of missing children dating back to the opening of the park over 30 years ago. Several wear-worn, extra small, bloodied costumes were recovered. The entire passage was only tall enough for small children. So,
It the clown?
nah, check this out though. So, pretty much, let me ask y'all a question. Do you guys think the kid he was seeing, right? Was that a ghost?
It might have been.
Because nobody else saw it. Only
It
him.
might have been.
Only him. And he said he was only 16, so technically he's still not an a full-grown adult. Apparently, the adults couldn't see him, and only the kids would get scared.
I believe it.
So now I'm thinking this dude was looking at ghosts in a theme park. See, that's always been a fear of mine, guys, is that you go to these like amusement parks like Halloween Horror Nights, and they really actually something like this happens behind the scenes or some sort of a weird.
So you said the guy or the kid saw like a kid was like murdered under the tracks of a roller coaster?
Yeah, they found
a real like that.
Yeah, limbs, body parts of different
Ooh.
children. Not an actual kid, but like body parts of different children. Apparently, there was an underground tunnel where only kids would fit in. Their bodies would fit in there, and yeah, I guess dating back all the way to like.
It gave me like It the Clown vibes.
For real?
Well, you don't remember that part of that movie? What was it? The second one or the third? I'm not sure. I'm not good with movies, but the part where the little girl goes under the, what do you call those where people sit?
Oh yeah, the bleachers.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and she gets eaten up.
Yes, and you know how he like goes after children because they're most afraid of that.
What y'all think of this story, y'all? Do y'all think it was based off reality? I mean, dude didn't really give a name of the actual theme park or anything like that. But it's a Reddit story we found, and I thought it was interesting.
I believe it. I believe it. Remember what I told you that when I was a kid, I used to see things. I was like way younger than your nephew, so I was probably like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
I used to see things.
Right.
And these are stories I wouldn't tell people because I was like, oh, they're gonna think I'm crazy. So I just kept them to myself. But now that I'm grown, I don't really see them anymore. But it was more. I feel like they attacked the innocents.
Yeah.
The innocent children. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what I believe, but I don't know.
I don't know, but one thing's for sure, guys. Like stuff like this happens all the time. What's up, Die Hard? What's up, Kate?
Hi, guys.
Dante, good to see you guys all. Prince. Things like this happen all the time where you might not believe things like this happen, but there's all kinds of satanic cults and underground societies that do weird things with missing children every year. And so it's not far-fetched that this could have been based off reality for sure. And we got a couple of other stories for you guys. We want you guys to kind of decipher what is real and what is fake or whatnot. But we're gonna definitely talk about it.
All right, so get into mine.
Oh, yes, he has a story for us. Wait, hold on. Before you hop into it, Dante's asking a question here. He says, when was the last sighting?
The last sighting? Well, you remember the story. Do you remember when you had... Well, at that time, I was probably like 19 or 20. When you had dropped me off at my mom's house. At that time, I was still living with my mom.
What up, Die Hard? What's up, bro?
And it was like probably past midnight already. And I didn't turn any lights or anything. So I'm heading down the hallway into my bedroom. I'm exhausted as hell. And I knock out quickly. And out of nowhere, like I literally felt like something was on top of me because I lost my breath. I couldn't breathe at all.
Ooh,
and all I could see was like a black shadow. And it felt like it was on top of me. And I remember I was struggling to get out of bed.
Yeah.
Finally did. I was able to like catch my breath. I came out scared. I told my mom, like, you won't believe me if I tell you this, but I felt like something was on top of me. I couldn't breathe. She started praying for me, putting that holy water on me. And she's like, pray when anything like that happens, just, that was the last time that has happened, like I ever encountered anything like that.
I'll be honest, guys. I never encountered something like that, like on her level. Where like it's choking me out and shit, because I'll probably fight the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll probably fight back. I'll probably choke him right back. No, but that's scary. Like I've had family members that told me stuff like that. I've had stuff on a lesser scale, but that right there, guys, is like that's like you don't want to be anywhere in the vicinity of that type of activity.
And when I was a kid, now that was more of like every hour, the same time every night.
Yeah,
I'd be woken up like something. It's like imagine you have an alarm on and it wakes you up same time every night. That's what it was for me every night. And I would get the instant urge to go to the restroom, but I'd be afraid as hell to get out of bed.
Yeah.
So I stay as long as I can in bed, and finally, like the urge just came to me, like I have to go. I would be so afraid to cross the hallway because the hallway would be like looking into the living room and then the kitchen, and that area was so dark. But for some reason, like I would freeze up there, and all I would see is like a tall figure, a male figure.
Fuck all
and
that.
it would just stand there, and so I would freeze up and just stand there too, staring at it. And then for a cool like couple minutes.
How old were you?
7 around that.
Oh hell no! See, they say kids see more things than adults. So
look in the apartments where I used to live. The birds every night too. Mm-hmm. They will go crazy. They were the cage was in the living room too. Yeah. You know, and our bedroom was away from the living room.
Right.
And you would hear every night the birds will go really crazy. Like something was like attacking them or something. They'll start flapping their wings, and you know how they get, right? Some birds. Yeah. Every night. And I would be scared as hell. My mom would hear it too, but she would ignore it. She was the type of like, oh, just don't pay no attention to it, you know? Yeah. But it was
that's
really
scary. Well, I heard you had a story for us. You want to read it for us? Go ahead and share it with the chat here.
All right. So it's a really short, very simple story, So there was a man that lived in Ohio. He had his 3-year-old son in the back seat of the car. They're driving by past the cemetery. So they're driving by, listening to music. And then the son turns over and tells the dad, "Dad, do you see those people over there?" Dad looks over, doesn't see anyone there. And he asks his son, like, who do you see? He's like, "The people, you don't see them?" And he's like, "No." So the whole time he's driving and thinking to himself, like, okay, what did he see? Because I didn't see anyone there. He gets home, sits down watching TV, and his son comes up to him. Mind you, he's 3 years old, and he tells his dad, "Dad, I already knew that they weren't alive, right?" So wow. The kid was able to see like
dead people. That's what I'm saying. Like children be seeing things all the time. Like children see things all the time, and it's really freaking.
But the fact that he's 3 years old and he tells his dad, "Dad, those people weren't alive, right?"
Yeah.
And his dad was just shocked because he didn't know what to think of it. Like he didn't see anything himself, and his son is telling him this.
Yeah.
So it's like,
wow. So they was riding around and the kid could see stuff the dad couldn't see, and it was dead people.
But he knew they were dead. The kid knew. So
have y'all ever been to a cemetery like late at night or like near one? It's like it's an eerie vibe to it.
His dad was like, "Oh, it must have been like a sixth sense that he has that only he can see that he can't himself."
Yeah.
It's like,
wow. Nah. See, I definitely believe that. Kids see things all the time that sometimes we as adults won't see here. And then sometimes we chalk it up as, oh, it's just the kid's imagination, whatever, or imaginary friend or whatever. Nah. When kids tell you something, you got to listen, man. Dogs also see things that sometimes we can't see.
Yes. Yes.
So, yeah, man.
Matter of fact, talking about kids, my sister too, when she was much younger. So she's probably like 6 years older than me. She was a teenager at that time already. She too, she's deaf. She can't really hear. She only speaks in sign language. I feel like it was me and her and my little brother for the most part, but I was more vocal about it. Like when I would see things, I would tell my mom, like I see this, right? Like, and she would tell me, "Oh, just pray." Yeah. My sister too, deaf and all, she would tell my mom, like, "Mom, like," and she'd be scared. She's like, "Mom, I saw this in the window." She's like, "What?" She's like, "I think I saw the devil in the window."
No way.
So she would see things, but she, and I would feel sorry for her because she can't really hear anything. But like when she would see things, like,
because your sister's deaf.
Yeah, she would yell, but you wouldn't like understand, like, okay, what scared her,
wow.
But she too had a couple of her.
Yeah, that gives me chills, y'all, because my brothers too, they went through some stuff that I had never seen. And a lot of these folk tales, like they originate from like Mexico, place like that. But like I've heard a lot of people say that they seen things all the time, and I believe them. Like I don't have to see it myself not to believe them. Like I'd rather not see it.
No.
I'd rather be in third person. I'm gonna tell you another story really quick. Let me go ahead and read Die Hard's comment right here. My boy Die Hard says, "You have to use spiritual discernment to know if there are malevolent or benevolent spirits, then respond accordingly. I let the good ones be, but I banish and sage for the so-called bad ones."
I banished all of them. Sorry.
That's me too.
I don't want nothing
Yeah,
appearing in front of me.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. As long as they ain't bothering me, so I'm happy.
No, but you can really tell. I feel like you can tell the difference. Like if it was a bad one, you just get this eerie feeling, like the little hairs in your arms stand up, or you just feel really scared, or you feel like something's staring at you. Like it just doesn't feel right, you know?
Yeah. Now I think some people have that ability to connect. That
I'd be like, "Be gone, demons, leave me alone."
I have one story here for you guys. You say you could feel it. I have one story here for you guys. This one doesn't really have to do with anything as far as the supernatural, but nonetheless, I found it pretty creepy. All right, because it was based on a true story, according to this Reddit user here that posted about 6 years ago. All right, so it's really short. I'm gonna read it straight to you guys off the top. Here it goes. Says here, I was driving my car for a long trip. I'm a woman. I took a rural route that had long roads with nothing around them. It was October, so fairly cold, around 11 p.m. I saw a figure far ahead standing on the side of the road. It was a hitchhiker. I usually would never slow down for one of them, but as I mentioned, the road had nothing to shelter for quite a long distance. So I picked him up, and he said he would be okay if I dropped him off in the next gas station over at the upcoming town. So it says, we drove around and he was quiet. So I started talking, not because I was interested, but because it was awkward. You know, right? Sometimes you got to talk to people because it's awkward. Like,
yes, you don't want that silence.
So she goes, it took a bit to get him to talk, but once we found common interests, we actually hit it off fairly well. She says, we ended up singing some tunes that we both enjoyed. And when we got to the town, we actually sat down at the dinner to eat. I offered to pay for his meal and he obliged. Says, after this, I wrote my number down on a napkin and handed it to him before I drove off. Sounds to me like she liked the hitchhiker.
Kind of.
Which makes the ending a lot creepier because it says, a couple of days later, I finally got a call from Mr. Hitchhiker. He told me, hello there. I really enjoyed our time in the car and dinner. I wanted to thank you. I had intended to initially rape and murder you, but couldn't as you were so nice. And then he ended up saying, don't ever pick anyone up ever again.
Well,
oh,
how's she going to respond? Thank you.
Hey, yo.
You spared my life.
Yo, this man was getting ready to rape and kill her.
Since she was so nice, he let her go.
Wow. Yo, let this be a lesson to everybody, man. Always treat people with respect and kindness, man. Damn, that's pretty much saved her life if you think about it.
Yeah.
Because he literally confessed that he was getting ready to rape and kill her. But
he probably liked her too.
Then, well, she gave him the number. They hit it off. She hit it. She has First of all, she has horrible taste in men. That's number one.
Yeah.
But wow, can you imagine, guys, escaping death and then finding out about it afterwards like that in that manner? Holy crap.
Second chance of life right there.
Oh my goodness.
It's nuts.
Man. Listen, good thing she started the conversation. If she was one of those awkward people that just would have went awkward the whole ride, she would have been dead, man. Wow. Yeah. So I believe that for sure, man. I believe that one for sure because I think there's a lot of creepy people out there like that.
Wait. Yeah. KJ, Steph told me that, but thank God I was nice.
Wait, what?
Stupid.
That boy always make everything into a joke. Oh man, no,
man. That's a crazy story. It's more the fact that I wouldn't me personally. I'm sorry, I'm not picking anybody, no stranger up. I don't know you. I'm sorry, you're not coming in the car with me.
Well, that's the number one rule we're taught as kids. Like, don't ever pick up any strangers, right? But it's like, damn, she picked them up because she felt sorry. There was nothing nearby. Right, and he was getting ready to murk her, man. That's crazy. Yeah. So also she offered to pay for the meal. That kind of sealed the deal for her, probably. Like he was like, nah, I can't kill her.
Go.
Nobody ever did all this for me.
Yes.
Wow. Yep. So that's my story right there, man. What y'all think of that one right there? What y'all think of that one?
I mean, that's a lot scarier for women because I know there's a lot of women getting kidnapped and raped. I mean, I don't know if I could really say a lot of people. It's very sensitive topic for
sure.
Yeah, I know for a fact. I mean, it's dangerous for anybody in general, but mainly for women. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But that's nuts.
That one kind of fits with the little picture right there we put up on the.
Don't speak.
Yeah. On that one, it is crazy. Paco, what's up, Paco? How you doing, bro? Good to see you, man. Go ahead. You got one for us?
Yes, I have one. It's called A Deadly Exorcism.
Uh-oh.
So it happened back in August 2016 in North London. A 26-year-old man named Kennedy began acting very strange and aggressively following a pain in his throat. He reportedly bit his father, threatened to cut off his own penis, and complained of a python or snake inside of him before his family restrained him to a bed with cable ties and excessive force. Kennedy had been bound to his bed for 3 days without medical attention when his brother called emergency services, explaining that Kennedy was complaining of dehydration. He appeared to have developed breathing issues and was pronounced dead at 10:17 a.m. All 7 of Kennedy's family members were accused of manslaughter, false imprisonment, and causing or allowing the death of a vulnerable adult. As post-mortem examination revealed over 16 wounds involving a possible bite on Kennedy's body, and his father, Kenneth, along with his 4 brothers, sustained injuries as well. After a 4-day jury deliberation, all 7 family members were cleared of charges on March 14, 2019.
Damn.
So they believed he was possessed.
So he died, huh?
He died.
Holy shit.
And
man.
his family were being accused of manslaughter because they tied him up to the bed. But to me, this sounds more like a story of a possessed man.
Yeah. No,
because he was threatening to cut off his own penis. He said he felt like there was a snake inside of him,
Yeah.
And acting very aggressive towards his family. Family had no choice, and they,
Yeah.
One of the brothers said he told the police. There's a comment that he had made. He said it's clear that things with him he says it's clear that thing was in him. What we believed was a demon because it was not natural. It was very clearly trying to kill him, he said. He had to restrain him for himself. It was clear if we didn't restrain him, he would have tried to harm the people in his family. So they were left with no choice of tying him up in bed the way he was acting. He was acting very aggressively, all that. And at the end, he ended up dying in his bed.
Wow.
So what do you believe that was?
Honestly, when it comes to that demonic shit, like I don't really mess with it. I don't know what it could have been, but either he was mentally ill or he was like there's something bad going on there for sure.
I mean, a lot of people can say he was mentally ill.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you see a change of
let's be honest, only him and his family know what really happened because they saw it all. They saw it in detail, so they could probably tell what it was. They believed it was a demon, right?
Yes.
So
but all charges were dropped after they saw, I guess, they ran autopsies on his body. They didn't show any signs of
Yeah.
So it's crazy to think. It kind of reminds me of the story of Emily Rose.
Yeah.
The one movie that really scared the hell out of me.
Yeah.
So it's like
Die Hard has an important message here for the chat. He goes, I advise everyone not to get involved or engage with nothing too crazy if you're not ready. Your subconscious mind takes everything for fact. Even music and movies are energy and frequency. I agree, bro. I've left the movie theaters feeling eerie after watching something too creepy.
Like the movie Blair Witch?
No, like the one A Night with the Devil?
The
Late Night with the Devil.
Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah, that movie left me feeling weird, dog. I felt like I was there for like a ritual that they performed in the movie.
Yeah, there's a couple of I felt like we're brainwashed.
Subliminal.
Yeah, subliminal things are going.
Subliminal messages. They do that too. They put in movies and shows and stuff too for us. And a lot of people think it's nothing. You're being scary, whatever, But at the end of the day, like if you really Die Hard knows what's up. He said you can invite spirits or an entity energy just by feeling a certain way emotionally. It can attach itself to you. There you go. See, this is why I stay away from all that stuff. I really don't. Like the most I'll do is watch a scary movie. That's about it, though.
But even that,
yeah,
even horror movies,
yeah,
it can have an impact.
I mean,
because it's also like a way of inviting them into your home too, if you're watching, you know.
right. No, I know it's absolutely real. Die Hard knows what's up.
No, but no lie. I think I've told this story already, probably last week.
Uh-huh.
The day that we went to the theater, it was late at night.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't even know. It was close to midnight.
Around there, yeah.
And it was literally just Danny. I mean, we were in the theaters alone.
Oh, wasn't that ghetto ass theater in Regal, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yo, listen, let me tell you something about that theater. That theater itself is freaking creepy because literally we buy tickets, nobody's in there. There's literally barely even people working at the front counter. You go in there and it's like you rented out the entire movie theater because it's completely empty. There's a bunch of empty seats. Like, basically, it was just me and my girl watching a movie.
Way in the back.
Way in the back. So that's the scary part. You're not expecting anything behind you, right? So that did happen to me for real.
But can I tell them what we were watching?
We were watching Blair Witch.
Blair Witch. Okay, yeah. I don't know how many of you guys have seen it. The ending wasn't. I wasn't really too happy about the ending, but I felt like the way it started off was pretty good. So it
builds up. Really
it builds up until the end, right?
Can I tell it?
What?
What happened to me?
Go ahead. So it happened to you. Go ahead.
It was scary because first of all, the theater is really cold. Like that's not a fancy theater, but there's no seat warmers, no recliners, nothing. It's just a cold theater. It's bad enough we're watching a movie, and there's nobody behind us, or at least I think there's not supposed to be anybody behind us, right? So there's this one part in this movie where the trees kind of crack, and this one dude's bones start breaking. Like
well, you kind of have to tell that part of the movie. It was a couple people went into the woods and they set up their tents, remember? And I think they were telling each other stories or something. They go into the tents, fall asleep.
Oh yeah.
One of the guys wake up, or the girls, I don't know, the girl wakes up and they realize their partner, friend, or whatever was in there. So
he's missing, right?
She gets up and she starts waking up, her other friends around.
Now you're reminding me.
You remember?
And then so they unzip the tent.
They lit up one of the flashlights or lantern. I don't remember what they had. And they look up and there was a bunch of sticks that were like tied up like together like crosses or something like that, right?
Yeah.
All over above their tents. Remember?
Yeah.
And then from there you could say one of the guys grabbed one of those sticks.
So they look above the tent and there's like a bunch of like little voodoo sticks or whatever tied up hanging from the trees, like all around them. And so they're like, what the fuck? We just fell asleep and then we woke up.
This was never here.
It was never there. And
one of the guys thought somebody was pulling a prank.
No, he was already irritated because one of their friends was missing. Yeah. So he grabbed the sticks and he started breaking them really quick. Like he started ripping them off but when he did that, the friend next to him, his bones started cracking.
The friend next to him snapped. His spine snapped in half.
Yeah.
He just fell to the ground. So at that moment, that's when
Bruh, I kid you not. Like it was like a jump scare. But before the jump scare happened, I felt somebody tap me over the right shoulder. And mind you, we're at a ghetto ass theater all late at night, like 12 midnight. And there's nobody there inside with us. And we're at the top. We're literally on the top seats. We always get the back seats. We don't like people talking behind us, especially when we're watching a good movie. Mm-hmm. So I feel like somebody tapped me and I jumped and I started sweating.
You were sweating like I've never seen you. And Danny does not, you're not really afraid of a lot of things, right?
No.
So that day I remember looking over at you and I'm like, babe, are you okay? Because you can see the sweat in his face. I'm like, are you right? Are you hot? He's like, no, I'll tell you later. No, babe, tell me what's going on. I'm touching your arms and your hand. Your hands, by the way, were cold, but I can feel the sweat. So I'm like, babe, what's going on? And you're like, you're not gonna believe it. I'm like, what? I felt like something tapped me in the shoulder right at that moment when that scene of the movie where the guy snaps the stick.
It's like they did voodoo on me. It was weird, dog.
And I looked behind. I was like, there's nobody here. He's like, I don't know, but I swear to you. He's like, somebody tapped my shoulder. And I was like, you know what, Danny? If you want, we can leave because I don't want to.
But what did I say to you, though?
You said no. Because I didn't want to put you through that.
I was like, hell no. We already paid for this shit.
Yeah, you're like,
we finna stay, though.
Yeah, we did. But I'm not gonna. I kind of felt bad for you because you experienced that. I didn't. So I was like, if you want, we can leave.
I was creeped out as hell, but I was still trying to be brave and shit. I'm not trying to we have popcorn and everything. I'm like, oh, we're not gonna leave.
But I could tell throughout the whole time. Like
I was tripped out,
you were
though.
Uncomfortable as hell.
Can y'all imagine somebody tapping your shoulder during a creepy scene and there's nobody there in the theater with you? Like, dog. Like that shit tripped me the fuck out. And I was looking over my shoulder the rest of the movie, like every couple of minutes, you know. But yeah, that was, you know, I was not trying to waste the popcorn in the, you know, I was like, you know how we guys are. Once we pay for something, we got to see it through, damn it.
You're trying to be tough, huh? In front of me, huh?
Yeah. So I mean, it is what it is, you know. But that was probably one of the creepier experiences at a horror movie we ever experienced. That right there, man. Especially because we were in the middle of nowhere in the ghetto. Nobody there. We're probably the only ones in the whole theater, not just in that room, but probably the whole theater. Literally, we're walking down these long hallways. You can see there's nobody there.
Like you can literally, after you finish this movie, you can hop on to the next theater and nobody's.
You can literally jump around from theater to theater.
Yeah,
there.
Nobody was saying.
And we used to do that a long time ago.
Yeah, we used to.
Yeah, but you know, it was one of them things. And I tell y'all, when y'all experience something like that, you know, what up, Laker girls? Team Money, what's up,
Hi,
bro?
guys.
But you know, when you guys experience something like that, have you guys ever experienced anything like that at all? We'd love to hear it.
Look, in the final on Halloween, we're gonna take in calls.
So
anybody that wants to join and tell us their story or family stories, anything, feel free. But on Halloween,
it's the 1 year anniversary of that one teacher from Compton who called in he told us his story. It was really freaking cool. It was a little creepy, but it was more cool than anything.
Yeah.
On how he met his wife and like how he kind of like, I don't know if you guys want to watch the videos from a year ago. It was a late night, so me and my girl, we opened up the phone line. So we're hoping to get a similar experience this time. If anybody wants to call in and tell us their experiences on Halloween night, we're gonna open up the lines. It's gonna be good. But man, I tell you, man, I, like my girl said, I don't get scared of a lot of things like that. But that night, yeah, I was sweating. I was nervous because I felt something tap me over the shoulder, guys. And that was one of them things where I'm just like, you know.
Yes. So I have another one based on a true story. True story, right? But it happened back in 1959. I believe this is how you pronounce it, the Dyatlov Pass incident. So it was a group of experienced hikers that disappeared in the Ural Mountains in Russia when their bodies were found weeks later. The circumstances were bizarre and disturbing. The tent had been torn up from the inside. The hikers had fled into the freezing wilderness, and many of them dying of hypothermia. Some had strange injuries, including crushed ribs, a missing tongue. The mystery behind their death, still to this day, is, you know, still unknown. Like, it's nothing but theories from natural causes that might have, you know, caused that, or paranormal or conspiracy, right?
Yep.
So that's the story. So people went missing in the Ural Mountains.
Rural mountains.
Look, Ural Mountains in Russia.
I think they spelled it wrong. Yeah.
And there was supposedly a woman that they found, and she had a missing tongue, eyes, and parts of her lips.
Damn.
And fragments of her skull.
See, that's the thing that scares me about places that are in the middle of nowhere. I'm talking anywhere, whether it's a desert. Like, remember when we went over there hiking to by where Moy lived? Remember we went?
Yeah.
And there was like caves
down by Cabazon.
Yeah, and there was caves down there. Remember?
Yeah, so you kind of have to like hike your way behind like.
And I was like, no, we're not going in there because you never know what the heck could go on anywhere. We've heard of people missing all the time, and in forests as well when we've gone camping.
I think your nephew had said that they blocked off that way, huh? That you couldn't no longer go into that like passageway anymore.
I remember back then. I don't remember who wanted to explore that. I was like, hell.
It was me. I'm not gonna lie.
I was like, hell no.
I'm sorry to say it, but I'm one of those white people. I'm just kidding. I'm not.
Hey, listen. Let me tell you something. I'm the voice of reason here.
No, but let's be honest. I wouldn't have put you guys in danger. Come on, we had.
I wouldn't let you go. I wouldn't have let you go in there either way. I would have carried your ass back home.
No, I just try to be tough.
Nah, but I'm telling you, even when we've gone camping, there's something really eerie about not knowing what lies beyond. Like when you go camping, if you ever need to go use the restroom, and it's late, dark at night, it is one of the scariest things ever. Like you literally gotta unzip your tent. You got to grab the flashlight or the lantern or whatever you like to use.
You got to go in a group.
And you know, like anybody who wakes up, they go on their own. They go to use the restroom.
Oh, really?
And it's scary because you don't know if a bear will snatch you up, if a snake is gonna bite you, if a bat is gonna give you rabies. Like you just don't know what could happen. Or worse, something worse. You might disappear and become somebody's ritual sacrifice.
That is true. I believe in all of that.
I'm saying, so the woods can be, I don't know if you guys ever been camping, guys, in the chat, or ladies in the chat, but I'm telling you, camping can be one of the coolest. Yeah, at night, at nighttime, it is one of the scariest things.
Yeah, ever. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know what? I try to be tough, Daddy. You know, I grew up with brothers. You know, so I gotta. You know, we don't like to show that weak side of ourselves. But that time that we went, I mean, this is far from horror stories, right?
But it's horror.
But well, horror, I'm gonna take it as you want. But like the fact that you said, you know, there's bears there, right?
Yep.
The second time, right? It was the second time we went camping, right? We went, you know, all your family night, and that night it's funny because before night hit, I remember I'm over here slathering on coconut oil on my face, right?
And I'm like, no,
and Danny
don't do it.
I'm so sorry. I almost put you guys at risk.
I'm like, don't do it. There's bears here.
But see, my train of thought was like, okay, it's still early. It's afternoon, you know, evening. It's not, you know.
She never used to listen to me, man. I used to tell her stuff and she would ignore it.
I listen to you now.
She listens to me now because she knows I was right. Well, back then she was stubborn, and I'll tell you.
No, but see, this is it. Like, you know, you go camping, the sun's hitting your face. I feel really dry, you know, sunburn in my face. I'm like, I hate that feeling. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna put some coconut oil on my face, right?
Well.
And I'm like, I'm thinking, oh, okay, you know, I still have time before the scent goes away. You know, the air's gonna. You know,
oh my God,
air out the scent.
She must not know about bears, ladies.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Them dudes can smell everything that's up your ass.
No, but you know what? Matter of fact, it wasn't coconut oil. It was avocado oil. Okay.
Regardless, it was an oil that it brought a scent. And sure enough, that night, guys, night.
No, but Danny did say. He said he tells me saying, yeah, I wouldn't do that if I were you. I was like, babe, it's too early. Come on. And my skin feels dry. He's like, babe, don't do that. I was like, just a little bit. So I did put some. I applied on. And that night we go to bed. Man, I'm knocked out. Heck, I'm pretty sure I was snoring or something. Freaking Danny, out of nowhere, he starts shaking me. He's moving. He's trying to wake me up. I wake up. I'm like, what, babe? And he's whispering to me. He's like, Saya, don't say anything. Just, I think there's a bear out here. I'm like, where? He's like, out here by our tent. Dude, the moment I heard there's a bear next to our tent, I start freaking shaking.
She starts shaking, bro.
My mouth.
And I had to wake up my mom too, just in case we had to run out of that damn tent. Because there was a bear, and all you hear is this. This is all you hear. This is the scariest sound you can hear when you're out in the middle of nowhere, and it's really dark. It's like 3 a.m, 4 a.m. You can't see nothing. All you hear is this. Oh my God! You can literally feel the heart beating out of your mouth hole. Like,
dude, that night you were holding me. You were holding me, and I think your mom was holding us. She was like, she was telling us to stay calm, that don't panic. I'm over here, like, look, when I get really scared, I'm the type that I will book it. I will run. So I had to, you know, obviously.
She wanted to run, but I'm holding her down.
No, I wasn't gonna run. No? You know, I would.
Well, you were shaking. You were shaking. Like
I was because I'm not. I'm literally the.
I reached over and grabbed the machete. Remember we had a machete right there by the tent?
Yeah.
I grabbed it. I'm ready. I'm ready just in case the bear tries to break it. I'm gonna fucking slash him in his face. My family can get away, and I'll sacrifice myself. But I'm like, yo, that right there. It's got to be one of the top 10 scariest things that's a top 3 scariest things I ever experienced.
The whole time it's funny though, because the whole time I'm hearing this bear right outside our tent. I'm praying to God, I'm like, please God, please. I'm like,
he's about to take her face off.
I'm so sorry. No, because you guys were at risk, and of course myself, but like I'm not thinking about myself.
She apologized because she didn't listen to me.
I'm like, oh my God, praying to God.
You see, ladies out there, sometimes it's good to listen to your man sometimes, and vice versa. But yeah, that right there, guys, I'm telling you, we have experienced some things. That right there, man, top 3 scariest things ever. And it really, like I said, the heart, my God, I couldn't control the heart. I literally could feel it like boom, boom, boom. Yeah. It felt like a basketball was dribbling on my chest, for real talk. That's how bad it was, man. And you can hear when you're so scared, you can hear your heartbeat through your ears. You guys ever been that scared?
Yes.
That's next level. That's Next level right there. She said that we dancers are scared of Clippers players. Oh my god. Really? Oh wow.
He's
Yeah.
scared. It's funny.
Yeah. But I will tell you that you know, a bear, because those dudes weigh like what, 600 pounds?
Mm.
One claw from a bear will cut you in half, literally. Guts all out and everything. So I mean, I was already in my mind. I had planned 10,000 ways to escape that 10. I was like, if he comes to that door, we're going out the back door. If he comes to that door, we're going out this door, because you know how the tent has different zippers. And
Yeah.
stuff? I'm like, then we'll push the tent on his head, and hopefully he gets caught in there while we can get away. Oh man, there's just so much that goes through your mind, and you're thinking, man, I wish I was home. You know?
Yeah. At that moment, I was.
In that moment, you're like, why did we come camping?
That's true. But no, that was our first encounter.
Yeah.
So first and last. But yeah, that was really scary. I'm not gonna lie. That's like one of the few times I, was really terrified. For my life.
Yeah, Dante. Yeah, bro. That would be scary as well. What up, Seb? What's up, brother? How you guys doing, man?
Hi,
you guys are just tuning in when we're just wrapping up these scary stories. But if you guys didn't see this episode, make sure you guys do rewind it, guys. We're almost wrapping up here, man. But again, we're gonna be doing these every weekend, and October 31st, we're gonna open up the phone lines to see if anybody wants to share their stories.
Please call in, because it's very interesting. I love hearing people's stories.
Yeah, it's good. It's probably my favorite month, and definitely it's good to tell stories and just interact with the community. Like I said, we got a special caller last year, man. That was he said, my boy be at the big sur. Hey, bro. Nah, but listen, man. You ain't never felt what I felt until you come in like that close to a bear, like literally inches away from your head, bro, sniffing.
Literally.
Man.
Like,
my boy said, just know that energy can't be created or destroyed. It can only change forms. Bro, you the energy expert. You're gonna have to call in and tell us one of your scary stories sometime, bro. I know you got plenty. I know Die Hard been through some of that sleep paralysis and all this stuff. So I know he's gonna have to call in and tell us one of them big bro stories, man, so we could all learn something. But again, guys, do you have any more?
I do have one more. Not too scary, but I'll quickly go through it.
All right. She got one more story for us, man, to send us off tonight.
Okay, so this girl at the time was telling a story that her parents bought a house in the middle of nowhere. The original owner of the house died by suicide in the garage. The next man who owned the house rented the house to a friend. The friend died while living in the house. The man then sold the house to my parents. He died 2 weeks after my parents closed on the house.
Damn.
Before moving in, my dad befriended a couple in town, and after hearing about the house, the wife insisted on coming by and smudging the place. My dad didn't believe in any of those nonsense about the house being haunted or having bad juju, but he let her sage anyways. That didn't do any good though, because my dad died very unexpectedly a few months later in a freak accident at the house at that house. I'm sorry. So anybody that owned the home ended up dying in the house. Her dad ended up passing by.
Somebody should burn the fucking house.
Yes. So she did leave a comment behind saying, my mom sold the house to a young couple who I'm hoping don't have horrible luck with the place. If I had the extra money laying around, I would have bought the damn thing from my mom and would have lit it up in fire. So she was thinking the same way you thought. Like I would have.
I think it's a little sinister though to sell a house like that when you know bad shit like that is happening. It's a little sinister, especially if you don't warn the people. Like many people have died.
Yeah.
At that point, nobody's buying the house if we're being honest. Like I could never. Like
so let's just say someone gave you the house for free.
Yeah.
And they told you, oh, there's a couple of like creepy encounters you might have in this house.
Yeah.
Would you still live in it? If it were free.
No.
No.
We love y'all too. Good night.
Good night.
No. We wouldn't live in it.
No.
Nah,
I wouldn't either.
Not. Would you?
No.
Because you know what? A lot of that stuff goes on discount all the time. Like
you know who would have? My
Your
mom,
yeah.
my mom is, I'm sorry to say, she's kind of nuts. She's like the type of, I can scare away all the demons. Nothing scares me, you know, because she has blessed the house before in our home, you know, the house I used to live in.
Mm-hmm.
She reads the Bible. She's that type of woman.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I believe my brother lives over there in Maryland.
Yeah.
And my mom, you know, just jokingly, asked him, "Is there any house over there you think I could like that they're selling for, you know, really cheap?" And my brother had came across this house that's like practically abandoned. Nobody is vacant.
I remember this. And your mom said she would move in.
That it was for really, they were letting it go for not a couple $1,000s. But that it has a backstory to it that I guess people have died there.
Yeah, no.
Been
See, that's a hell no.
suicides.
Let me ask you guys that, chat. Would you guys move into a house like that, even if it was affordable, like a couple hundred, like 100,050 or something? If it's like a big ass nice house, would you guys move in there?
100,000?
Yeah, something around that.
No,
I mean,
the house my mom was trying to buy was like 10,000 or something.
Oh, no. See, there's something really wrong with that.
There's
house.
a history there. So people died and committed suicide, and prior owners of it have seen and encountered and experienced stuff that they would move in there and they will feel depressed. It's like a bad energy in there.
They couldn't pay me to move into a house like that.
No, but my mom is like, I'm not saying, you know, she didn't purchase it, of course, but she was like, "Oh, call the people, you know, the owners of the home. I want to buy it. I'm like, "Mom, you're nuts." She's like, "No, I'll finally have my own space, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, first of all, you don't even have the money. And two, why would you want to move into a home like that knowing the history of it?
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, it's simple. I just bless it, throw some holy water, you know, read the Bible to it." And
let me tell you something, Dante. Mexican moms are tough. My mom's the same way, G. My mom's the same way. Like she's not afraid of nothing, bro. They could be like a damn like Llorona in front of her. She'll be trying to help her out and shit. Like, "Yo, what's wrong with you? Are you okay?" Like Mexican moms are different, bro. They don't believe like anything can hurt them as long as they got God on their side, which I respect that. But at the same time, there's only so far you can go with that. Personally, me, I you know, I don't know. I ain't touching anything that's cursed with a 10-foot pole, including the Annabelle dolls that are currently laying in some museum somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how people can hold on to shit like that.
Oh no, you know me. I told you this since I was a kid. I hated dolls.
Yeah.
I don't like dolls. If I have when we have a daughter, I don't want no dolls for her. I'm sorry, you're playing with teddy bears.
Yeah, there's always videos online of like dolls and shit like that moving. Like
I don't like
especially when it's hand-me-downs, you know, when it's like passed down from generations.
Yeah. There's something sinister
eerie
about them. I don't know. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
Definitely eerie, man.
It probably doesn't help the fact that I've seen a lot of videos of like of dolls moving their head and their eyes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
You know.
But for sure, hey, listen, guys, it's been another late night episode, man, with me and Yesi. We definitely appreciate you guys for tapping in. I think we're going to end the episode here. We got a lot more to discuss over the next couple of weeks. So make sure you guys tap in every either Saturday or Sunday, leading all the way up to October 31st, which we're going to save the best episode for last. And that's going to be actual things that have happened to people. They want to call in, tell their stories. That'd be great. If not, we're going to bring our own personal family connected stories. Like I got stories from my family I could tell.
I have a couple of them,
like,
but
very, very scary, you know. But yeah, we'll definitely open up the phone lines October 31st. Let's see. My boy said, "I will call it next time." No, I'm not cursed or a so-called devil worshiper. I have face-to-face encounters. I am clairvoyant and clariscent. I can see them and feel them. Yeah, hey, we definitely want to hear your stories, Die Hard. But October 31st, when we open up the phone lines, brother, we want everybody to
I want to hear all them stories.
We want everybody to gather their stories so that they can tap in and you guys give us your stories one by one. Maybe we'll have a great episode, maybe an amazing one even. So make sure you guys do tap in October 31st. But we will see you guys here next weekend. For everybody that's into the sports stuff, I've been covering the Dodgers over there on Playback. Make sure you guys tap in there. And then Tuesday, of course, we got the Laker game and all that good stuff. But I want to say thank you to everybody. Please make sure to hit the like button on the way out if you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you to my beautiful, lovely, sidekick right here, Yesi.
Thank you for my beautiful, handsome.
Hey, we appreciate y'all for real for kicking it with us tonight. And hopefully we'll see you guys again next weekend.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you next week.
Whoa, she's possessed already.
See you guys next week.
For sure. Y'all have a good night, all right? We love y'all. Peace.
On the street.